Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I hope you are stay healthy and always happy. On this occasion, we, Adib Rizki and Muhammad Iqbal Rifki, will present about Utsmani Turkey or Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman state emerged in 669 Hijri. However, this country only adopted the caliphate system in 923 Hijri, that is, during the transition from an Islamic state to an Islamic caliphate, and continued to defend Islam so that its history page was closed in 1333 Hijri. The founder of Turkey was the Turkic nation itself from the Koyuk Oghuz tribe, one of the Turkic tribes who inhabited the western part of the Gobi Desert, or the Mongol area in northern China, led by Solomon. He invited members of his tribe to avoid the invasion of the Mongols, who attacked the Islamic world which was under the rule of the Khwarezm Dynasty in 1219 to 1220. Solomon and his tribesmen then moved westward and sought the protection of Jalaluddin, the last leader of the Khwarezm dynasty in Transoxiana. Jalaluddin told Solomon to go west, Asia Minor. Then they settled there and moved to Syria in order to escape the Mongol attacks. In his attempt to move to Syria, the leader of the Turks got into an accident. They were swept away in the Euphrates River, which suddenly rose because of the Great Flood in 1228 AM. Finally, they were divided into two groups. The first wanted to return to their home country, and the second went on his way to Asia Minor. The second group consisted of 400 families, led by Ertugrul ibn Sulaiman. They devoted themselves to Sultan Alauddin II of the Seljuk dynasty of Rome, whose seat of government was in Konya, Anatolia, Asia Minor. At that time, Sultan Alauddin II was facing the danger of war from the Romans, who had power in Eastern Rome or Byzantium. With the help of the Turks, led by Ertugrul, Sultan Alauddin II was able to achieve victory. For his good service, the Sultan awarded him a piece of land bordering Byzantium. Since then, Ertugrul has continued to develop its new territory and seek to expand its territory. In 1288, Ertugrul died and left his son named Utsmani, who was estimated to be born in 1258 AD. It was Utsmani who was appointed by Ertugrul to continue his leadership and was approved and supported by the Seljuk Sultan at that time. The name Utsmani was later taken as the name for the Ottoman Empire. In the history of Muslims, the Ottomans had a very important role, especially in the development of the Islamic region, started by Utsmani himself, then by his son, Orhan, and continued by successors later. During the reign of Orhan, Utsmani was able to conquer Izmir, Tawasonli, Uskandar, Ankara, and Gallipoli. The progress and the package of Utsmani Turkey. The progress of Ottoman Empire. At first, the Ottoman Empire only had a very small area, but with military support, it didn't take long for the Ottoman Empire to become a large empire that lasted for a long time. The progress and development of the expansion of the Ottoman Empire, which was so fast and fast-paced, was also followed by advance in other areas of life, including the following: Number 1. Military fault. Orhan, the leader of the Ottoman Empire, who was the first to organize a military force as well as regular combat tactics and strategies. It was during this period that Islamic armies first entered Europe. Orhan succeeded in reforming and formed the three main armies of the army. First, Sipahi soldiers, or regular soldiers, who get a salary every month. Second, Hazab soldiers, or irregular soldiers, who are paid when they get the spoils of war, mal al-ghanimah. The third, the Tifasari or Inkisharia soldiers. The soldiers recruited at the age of 12, most Christian children who were guided by Islam with strong discipline. These troops were able to turn the Ottoman Turks into the most powerful war machine and provide a huge impetus in the conquest of non-Muslim countries. Number 2 is government sector. The success of the Ottoman Empire's expansion was not only due to the toughness of its army, but also to the creation of an orderly government network. In managing the vast territory of the Ottoman Turks always acted decisively. The structure of government, the Sultan is the supreme ruler, assisted by Sadr al-Azam, Prime Minister, who oversees Pasha or Governor. The governor heads the level 1 area. Under him, there are several al-Zanazik or Alawiyah regions people. Number 3 is field of science. They take part in the development of Islamic architectural art in the form of beautiful mosque buildings, such as the Al-Muhammadi Mosque or the Jami' Sultan Muhammad Al-Fatih Mosque, the Solomon Great Mosque, and the Abi Ayyub Al-Ansari Mosque. The mosques are also decorated with beautiful calligraphy. Number 4 is cultural field. The influence of the expansion of the Ottoman Empire was very broad, so that its culture was a blend of various cultures. Among them are Persian, Byzantine, and Arabic cultures. The Ottoman Turks were indeed well known as a nation that liked and easily assimilated with foreign nations, and was open to accepting foreign cultures. Number 5 is religious affairs. Religion in the tradition of the Ottoman community had a big role in the social and political fields. Society is classified based on religion, and the kingdom itself is very tied to the Sharia, so that the fatwa of the ulama becomes the applicable law. During the reign of Sulaiman al-Qanuni, the Muslim people were required to pray 5 times and fast during the month of Ramadan. If someone violates it, they are not only subject to fines but also corporal sanctions. So that the Sultan Sulaiman al-Qanuni was not only the most famous sultan among the Ottoman Turks, but at the beginning of the 16th, he was the most famous head of state in the world. He was a pious ruler and also managed to translate the Quran in Turkish.
The decline of the Ottoman Turks. The decline of Ottoman Turk Empire was marked by several things as follows. The weakening of the spirit of the Ottoman Turk led to further attacks launched by the enemy to seize the territory of the Ottoman Turk. For example, the Ottoman Turks were defeated by a attack by the Spanish, Bendunia, and Pilgrims in 1663 AD. By realizing the weakness of the Ottoman Turks, some regions in the east began to hold rebellion to break away from the Ottoman kingdom. For example, in Egypt, the Janissary with the Mamluk dynasty launched a rebellion, and from 1772 AD, the Mamluk dynasty succeeded in controlling Egypt until the arrival of Napoleon in 1789 AD. The decline of the Ottoman Turk mentioned above was caused by several factors as follows. A. The extent of the Ottoman Empire territory which ultimately could not be controlled from the center, because the government system was no longer as effective as in previous times. B. Repeat rebellion carried out by the steps through. C. Incompetent ruler after the Caliph Sulaiman II al-Qurani caused dispute and murder in the place environment. D. As a result of the defeats suffered by the Ottoman Turks in a number of wars, the economy was need for them to time. E. Science and technology, especially those related to military development needs, are not very developed. F. The ground of the nationalist movement even took in the Ottoman Empire fell, which is curious that has contributed a lot to the world, including the Islamic struggle. The Ottoman Empire was the Islamic Caliphate that was the most successful guarding Islamic politics and the most defend against attacks by Western civilization on the Islamic world. Among European countries, the power of Islam was unknown, and respect for the role of the Ottoman Turk in its heyday.
Maybe that's all from us. Please comment if you have any questions. See you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.